Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luke of Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master of the Core it is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And today we'll be talking Green Lantern 108 through 110 and Green Lantern 80-page giant number 1. We'll know it by everyone on the cover.
Yeah, you know, for someone who is dead and not a part of the series, he's certainly a part of the series.
At this point, is it, you know, right after Emerald Knights are like, oh, Hal's kind of popular, popular again.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yes, I pulled all my floppies out because while number 2 is on the app, yes, Green Lantern 80-page giant number 1 is not on the app on the DC Universe Infinite. And I'm like, I don't think there's anything that controversial. The Nazi annual's on the app, but this issue is not on the app. I'm like, why?
I guess I just haven't got around to it. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I get the framing device, but the stories kind of go from way this way to way this. I mean, they're all over the place.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. It's like, you know, the three of them are telling stories to themselves, and it's like, well, this one told me this story. Well, this one told me this story, and
poor Gnort.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we're gonna get an update on Gnort. Breaking kids, we're gonna get an update on Gnort tonight. So yeah, don't go anywhere.
Post Emerald Twilight Gnort.
I know.
He gives me his bone.
Poor Gnort.
All right. Well, I don't think we discussed it here because didn't it break like towards the end of last week?
I think so.
Yes, more shakeups at WB Discovery. The Batgirl movie is canceled. Will not be shown anywhere.
And I've heard that Green Lantern is canceled. I've also heard that it's still in play, but then I've also heard that it's canceled. And then I've also heard that it's still in play.
Well, we'll get to that. Yeah. But yeah, Batgirl's canceled. I guess Kevin Smith was working on some Strange Adventures thing. We know with Adam Strange, that's canceled. But Ezra Miller's allowed to continue their rampage.
Insane.
I mean, just there's more headlines like, you know, they got caught breaking into some house in Vermont or something.
Yeah,
I said the optics do not look good on that. It's like, you know, Ezra Miller keeps their movie. The Rock's going to be Black Adam. We're getting Aquaman 2, but they canceled the movie where the lead is a woman of color. That doesn't look good.
No, it does not. Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, you know, I think was it you or maybe I can't remember where I saw it, but you know, there's a joke that they have a 10-year plan.
Yes. Yeah. Dr. Manhattan. Yes.
Yeah, the 10-year plan started in 2012. Well, then it started in 2015, then it started in 2019, and it's going to start in 2030. So there's no clue. I mean, and you know, I was talking with Mike about this, and Marvel from the get-go was always designed to be a shared universe.
Yeah.
Right? DC was never built to be a shared universe.
Oh no, especially like Man of Steel, that wasn't meant to like spin off like, you know, Batman versus Superman and all that other.
Well, no, I mean the comics themselves.
Yeah.
The Marvel universe was always about, hey, all these characters live in New York. They don't live in Star City or Opal City or Coast City or Sun City. I'm trying to think of all the other cities that we've been to in Green Lantern.
Yeah, some of them were on the West Coast, Central City and Keystone were like
Metropolis,
middle America. Yeah.
I mean, it was always felt to be more real world, whereas the Batman, for the longest time, Batman had Batman stuff, and that was separate than World's Finest, where they teamed up, but that team up
Yeah.
never really affected either book. It was
Yeah.
all because when you get right down to it.
Wait,
and
who?
I think they,
Wait, who?
Batman,
yeah.
my favorite character.
Coming out of the gate.
Why wouldn't the Justice League help after Gotham City is hit by an earthquake, right? Why
Because
wouldn't
Batman told them to stay out.
I know, which is ridiculous. So having Zatanna in the same universe as Batman doesn't make a lot of sense because if I'm a detective, magic means that how do I do? Yeah, I can't draw logical conclusions if there's magic, right? So, I mean, the DC universe was never built to be a cohesive universe.
I
in my
know.
mind.
Well, I had this discussion with Lilith one time. I'm like, when I was reading Batman in the early 90s, that's when like kind of late 80s, early 90s, that's when Batman was, for a while in that DeMatteis Justice League.
Mhm.
You wouldn't know it by his books. The man, it's never brought up, basically he
Mhm.
stays in his own little corner.
He's an urban legend
Exactly.
that's on the Justice League.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's a DC trying to imitate Marvel, which is always gets back to, DC and Marvel imitating each other ad nauseum, right? I mean, Marvel did it, and yes, it looks like that was always their intent, but they got incredibly lucky. They made a lot of really smart, what turned out to be smart decisions that there was really no way of knowing if they were going to be smart decisions. And DC,
yeah, but
they
two,
could do something different,
yeah, but again, it's like, once Marvel starts making plans, they pretty much stick to that plan. It's like, DC hits a road bump, and they're like, oh, we have to completely change our, our roster of movies, and or cancel this one, or it's like, really? I mean, again, if Marvel can get past Thor: The Dark World, I mean, come on.
Hey, that movie gets a lot of crap, but I don't mind it. It's not that bad.
I don't know, man. I would take Iron Man 3 over Thor: The Dark World any day.
I gotta go with the opposite of that.
Oh, nice. There's a movie bracket.
Yeah, and I think you guys have found the worst superhero movie of all time. It is. I think within your experience, you've experienced it.
I think, we're gonna do some indies. So by November, December, that we'll know. We'll pit the Marvel, DC, and the indie against each other. Oh, but no, I saw the memes have been flying hot. I saw one after we are messaging today. That it says the Batgirl movie wasn't going to be good anyway, and then it's like they show was it Jeff Bridges from the first Iron Man movie when he's Obadiah Stane, and it's like Marvel Studios built Ant-Man, a successful Ant-Man movie in a cave with scraps.
We're not Marvel Comics, sorry. And that's something that
I mean, think about that. They made money off it. There's going to be a third Ant-Man movie. Yeah. They've done 2 Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry, 2, and they're going to be a third.
I have loved Ant-Man, practically forever, and the fact that there are going to be 3
there's a third one coming,
really successful Ant-Man movies it just blows my mind every day. I'm like, this is freaking awesome,
I know.
And DC can't make a Superman movie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, don't tell me DC you can't make a Superman movie when Marvel's making money off Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man.
I mean,
I mean, again, I'm not disparaging Miss Marvel, but Miss Marvel's a character has only been around for what, 10 years?
Oh yeah.
And they can make a successful TV show out of it. And I'm like, really? You can't find anything within 80 some years of Superman.
Well, and I am not the audience for the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of us are. I did not like Man of Steel. I did not like
because you have taste.
I did not like anything he's done. Now, hey, that's fine. I'm not This is not a judgment of quality. This is a judgment of what I like and what I don't like, and I don't like it. So hey, it's cool. I'm glad that there are people that do like it, but to put all your eggs in that basket,
Yeah.
that does not seem to be a wise move on my part.
No,
A wise move on their part, in my opinion.
Yeah, they like we all say, they need a Kevin Feige over there.
Somebody that actually likes the comics and understands.
Yeah, and again, you can't always be shining it through the dark Batman lens.
I mean, there's been a lot of good Batman movies. There's been a lot of bad Batman movies too. When you get right down to it.
Exactly.
Dark Knight Rises. Sorry. Batman and Robin.
Oh, burn. Hold on, I'm trying to find what I was looking for. Okay. But no, so we were speculating on the Green Lantern series because Will was ready to put it to bed yesterday. But all right. So this must be from TV Line. That's what it's saying. All right. An HBOMax spokesperson told TV Line that the Green Lantern series is still very much alive and definitely moving forward. Penned by Greg Berlanti, Mark Guggenheim, and Seth Grahame-Smith, the series will reinvent the classic comic book and tell a story spanning decades and galaxies, beginning on Earth in 1941 with the very first Green Lantern, secretly gay FBI agent Alan Scott, who's going to be an FBI agent, and 1984 with cocky alpha male Guy Gardner and half alien Bree Jarta. They'll be joined by a multitude of other lanterns from comic book favorites and never before seen heroes. Jeremy Irvine will star as Alan Scott alongside Finn Whitrock as Guy Gardner. While the series is still on track, TV Line hears it may not be released until 2024.
And do you really think it can be? Do you think it will really be allowed to take that long to actually come out? I just see WB going, but hey, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, although I am a little worried.
Anytime anyone tries to rush them, are they going to be like 2009 movie, dude? 2009.
Yeah. Speaking of that 2011 movie, two of the names seem pretty familiar from that movie. Greg Berlanti and Mark Guggenheim. So,
yeah. Lilith wasn't happy when she heard. Yeah.
So I mean,
Berlanti and Guggenheim.
I'm gonna try to keep an open mind and hope that it's good, because that Berlanti has done some good stuff that I like, and probably Guggenheim too. I'm not as familiar with his work, but except for the Green Lantern 2011 movie. But
I don't want to say they're shooting a little high, but it says Berlanti, who also executive produced alongside Grahame-Smith and Guggenheim, has previously teased that the series will be the biggest DC show ever made.
Okay, well they're gonna go for it then. All right, cool, whatever.
So
I hope it's going to continue. I'm just not very optimistic that it will.
So now it might be 2024. So hopefully we'll have a new Green Lantern comic series by then. On this show, I mean, it'll be after Rebirth. So Hal Jordan will be back on this show by the time that thing rolls around.
Was it announced in 2019?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been because then we're like, oh yeah, COVID probably slowed it down.
But that 5 years in development?
Yeah.
That's
nothing compared to, they've been talking about that Flash movie since the Flash TV series started. And we've already done 8 full seasons, and the last one's coming.
The final 9th season is coming, yes.
Although as Lilith always tells us, they were talking about it even before then, because Ryan Reynolds was originally supposed to be Barry Allen, not Hal Jordan.
Yeah, that movie, I had such high hopes for it, and
I love the character of the Flash. I hope that movie doesn't come out, or unless they completely redo it.
Yeah, I mean,
Again, maybe they don't think he's a movie guy, but just plug Grant Gustin into there. He's had how many years playing live action Flash?
Mm-hmm. That's nuts, man. Hey, what else do we have in Green Lantern news? Anything?
Oh crap! I didn't bring it out, but yes, Dark Crisis 3
Okay.
came out last week. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got a lot. Well, of course, they're looking for the Justice League and looking for Pariah. We saw a bunch of lanterns. I wish I had the book in front of me, but yeah, of course, Cal's there. We saw Guy and Simon are there. They have rings, so
Well, yeah, there are two. The Kilowog and Salak, I think, are there, and they're in the dark sectors. Aricia was there along with another lantern that was dead. So
I don't know how they're going to explain the dead ones, but I'm assuming they just went and got everybody because I mean they did show us where they went and got Cal and gave him a ring again. So
was Guy in it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But then, okay, spoilers. At the end of the Green Lantern part, like, I guess Pariah blast them all. We see how kind of like crumble to dust, like the whole Barry Allen thing, which is what they did to the whole Justice League. He wakes up on some weird like Green Lantern world, and he comes face to face with two Green Lanterns, and they say something about like, oh yeah, we were in Space Sector John Stewart.
Space Sector John Stewart.
I'm assuming that because all the Justice League are trapped in their own little fantasy world, so I'm wondering that Hal got plugged into John Stewart's maybe.
Okay.
I mean, we'll find out because this week, well, tomorrow I'll get it. That world with Dark Crisis world without a Justice League, the Green Lantern issue comes out tomorrow. So
cool, very
I'm
cool. I will be interested to see because I won't
get
that. Yeah, I won't get that until later. So
yeah, so I'm assuming. Oh yeah, by the time you get it, yeah, you'll probably get Dark Crisis 3 and that together, right?
Mm-hmm. That would be my guess.
So yeah, hopefully they'll explain that. We'll see more of that tomorrow.
Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths.
And then eventually, like I said, coming up soon, I know if not this month, next month or something. I think Hal's going to appear with Wally in the Flash book. So
cool. And Nightwing fought Deathstroke, I think.
In issue 2 he did. Yeah, he didn't do a lot with 3 because they're like in 2 Beast Boy pretty much basically gets shot in the head. So like in issue 3 they're basically just like, oh yeah, he's just sitting by Beast Boy's bedside. He hasn't left his side since he got to the hospital.
Cool.
Give him a break. He basically propped up issue 2. So. Oh yeah, said
7-issue series.
4,
4,
6,
5,
or 7, something like that. Well, again, it's all run until through December. So,
gotcha.
Oh, and it seems that again, I don't think this is a spoiler, but yes, it seems Deathstroke has been possessed by the Great Darkness.
Okay, interesting.
Yes, and for those of you who want some history on the Great Darkness, stay tuned for September, kids.
We might be able to hook you up.
Yes. Filling in on the Justice League podcast will be Mr. Will Allred, and we're going to do some Legion of Superheroes, starting with the Great Darkness saga,
which is a pretty awesome story.
Oh, Lilith is thrilled that it's taking multiple men to fill her position on this podcast. Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah. So, takes a bunch of us to fill in all that evil. Bigger, harder, stronger. All right, should we get to these issues?
You bet.
All right. So how did you take this? I mean, I the way I read it was like 108 through 111, and then I saved the 80-page giant for last.
I thought it was just through 110.
Oh yeah, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, 8, 9, and 10, and then the 8.
Yeah, and that's the way I read it too.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think it contradicts it.
Nah.
All right.
Because Kyle is still gone, so it could literally happen. Well, yeah. It probably happens before the end of 110. Right?
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the 80-page giant, he's still Sentinel.
Oh, yeah.
And we did get a plug for Green Lantern New Core, right?
Oh, yes. Yes. Let me check the schedule. I think we're doing that next week. The new core, two whole issues, kid.
Yeah, I'm sure it goes well.
Oh man. Okay, we're gonna get this. Yeah, I think I should have synopses for the regular 3 issues. We're gonna have to walk through that 80-page giant. Yeah, next week. Yeah, the new core 1 and 2, and then Green Lantern 111 and 112 next week. Yep. So I think we'll do the new core, and then I think Cal's return next week. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, all right. Let's jump into Green Lantern 108 from January 1999, Will.
Hey, we need to party like it's then.
I was gonna say we're almost at Y2K.
Almost.
Our mother's names. Why'd you say that name? Fill-in writer Eric Luke. Penciler Daryl Banks, inker Terry Austin, colors Rob Schwager, letterer Kurt Hathaway, and editor Kevin Doley. So I wonder if they had a fill-in just to give Mars like extra time on the, because he wrote the new core, right?
Yeah, I think so. And honestly, this really didn't feel like a normal Green Lantern issue at all. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's a fill-in, but it really felt like a fill-in because I don't know. It wasn't Ron Mars, right?
Yeah.
It just didn't.
And it wasn't Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was gonna say that Eric Luke guy. He wasn't writing Wonder Woman at this point, was he?
No, I think didn't he write like Ghost for Dark Horse, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I might be misremembering there. It's been, it's been a while.
All right. Oh wait. Let's see. Is there a link here? Eric Luke, DC Comics, work history writer. Oh no, he might have wrote some Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like maybe issue. Oh yeah, there might have been a few issues. So yeah, I was gonna say, even if he was on there for a short time, maybe they just like caught the Wonder Woman writer at the time and said, "Hey,
I'll do the fill-in."
exactly. Can I have Wonder Woman? Yeah, sure.
Works for me.
All right, so yeah, Green Lantern Volume 3, number 108. Like I said, yeah. Green Lantern, in this case, Jenny Lynn Hayden, is just doing a photo shoot when the male model gets attacked by a plant being.
I hate it when that happens.
I know. You know what? It never goes good when they, either Cal or her have like somebody like posing in that apartment. Nothing ever, Jenny immediately is reminded of her mother, Thorn, but she is dead, and the being actually calls herself Spore. Spore intends to kill Jenny, but then she disappears. Jenny visits her dad, Alan Scott, and tells him what happened. He has no clue who Spore could be, so Jenny wants to talk to Wonder Woman as well. But Diana did not know Thorn. Therefore, they teleport into the JLA watchtower and look for clues in the team's database. Her mother was connected to a Dr. Hollis, whom she later killed. Dr. Hollis has a daughter who lives in New York. Jenny and Wonder Woman fly to the daughter's laboratory, but find out she is dead as well. But the plant being is still there, and it takes the combined powers of Green Lantern and Wonder Woman to defeat it. Later, Jenny actually is happy about this incident. It showed her that her mother was not bad by nature, but she got poisoned by that plant virus.
And there is a literal Deus Ex Machina in this. Wonder Woman prays to Gaia, and Gaia fixes it. I'm just like, you're going to go there? Really?
I know.
Okay. All right, cool. Whatever, bro.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, this whole issue just felt off to me. The art, it was Banks, but was it Banks and anybody else, or was it just Banks?
Hold on. It said just Banks, but let me look at the actual issue. It says pencils, Daryl Banks, inker Terry Austin.
It didn't look like them for some reason. I don't know what it was.
I mean, unless it's just just working with a different. Could it be just working with a different writer, maybe? Or
yeah, perhaps. Or maybe because Kyle's not in it, the characters. I don't know. It looked different, and I don't know why it looked different. Maybe a different colorist. I don't know because you know Banks and Austin are a great team,
Yeah.
and anyway, yeah, this really felt like a fill-in issue in every conception of the term.
Oh yeah, because it is basically she's filling in for Kyle and
Mhm.
got a fill-in writer and oh my god, but yeah, just some of this, like Aquaman giving her crap at the Watchtower, basically, why is she up here? She's not Justice. Like it's like really, one, she's a Green Lantern, she's Kyle's girlfriend, she's
Yeah.
Alan Scott's daughter.
You need more pedigree.
Exactly.
Cranky King of the Seas.
I mean, her brother Obsidian was in the Justice League, not a good Justice League, but he was in a Justice League
In a Justice League, yes.
with Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a strange issue. Strange issue.
Oh yeah. And then I guess the teleporter makes you feel all tingly.
Yeah.
It's ting ting tingling, ting ting tingling.
But no, I mean, at least they, at least they were like, oh hey, she's like, oh hey, you ran into Thorn, and Wonder Woman's like, no, that was my mother.
Yeah. Then they called her up and woke her up. I'm like, wait, this seems so weird.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
That's Queen Hippolyta. I mean, you're like, yo, wake up. Like, and then she's like, I'm going back to bed. I'm like, what? This is just, it seemed so strange.
But I'm like, where's the mascara? I'm like, isn't it night here? So wouldn't it be earlier or later in the morning somewhere else? I don't know.
I don't know.
Was she in an Odin sleep? Come on.
Those are so darned inconvenient.
Oh my god! Every couple of years, man. I mean, is it worth being that all powerful if you take a nap like every 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, and I wonder too if since it was like a guest writer, like if he had notes from Mars, it's like, oh hey, yeah, when she goes to see Alan Scott, make sure he seems kind of tired, and
or maybe editorial would have said, this is where we're going, so plant those seeds or something.
So maybe that's part of this. The weird feeling too is just like this writer got notes. It's like make sure you hit this, hit this, hit this, and then and then he hit him kind of differently than Mars would have hit him. Yeah.
It's just to have the same artist and the same inker, it still felt so different, than what we've grown accustomed to for the last. At this point, what, 5 years on Green Lantern?
So,
1994?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, when did Emerald Twilight come out?
It was sometime in 94, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was sometime in 94.
Yeah. So if it's not 5 years, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But and again, the whole time thing was weird too, because she gets attacked with those male models in the apartment. Then she goes to see Alan. He's like, "Oh yeah, Molly's in bed, already."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wait, what time is it?" I know people go to bed early, but I'm like, "What time is it?"
But what was it that Deadpool said in the first Deadpool movie? There's nothing wrong with saving money and eating dinner while it's still sunlight, while it's still daylight out. Which is an awesome movie. So Ryan Reynolds got to be the superhero that he was meant to be.
Oh, nice. But yeah, that Gaia thing was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was
especially when the hand's green. It almost looks like green.
It looks like an energy construct. Yeah. Like what?
And I mean, all it did was like give that the villain the finger. It's like
pretty much. Green Lantern 50 was March of 1994.
Oh, almost exact. Yeah,
almost exactly 5 years. So we're halfway to the rebirth.
Oh, we're halfway there.
Halfway. Woo.
Told you, man. Early next year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anything else on this one?
I don't know. Do you have anything else on this one? Again, it wasn't bad. It was just it's kind of different.
Yeah. It just seems so weird.
Yeah. Again, I think it's just because we got a substitute hero, a substitute writer.
Yeah. It was weird.
I don't know. Do you think the writer was just trying extra hard to try to find a connection between her and Wonder Woman, and it's just like, oh hey, mothers or
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It was just strange that, oh hey, this photo shoot happened. Oh, and then I run across Wonder Woman because she lives in New York, I guess, or she's not in. I mean,
well, I think
kinda,
she went looking for Wonder Woman because she's like, oh,
Ah.
she knows Thorn, Thorn and.
I don't know. It's just like, okay, cool. We'll just go with it. Just gonna go with it. No, it's always weird to me, I think, because I get the feeling that Green Lantern editorial loves the thought of having Golden Age Green Lantern, but they don't want to actually do anything with him. Because hey, let's make him Sentinel. No, wait, now we've got a Justice Society book getting ready to come out. So we've got to re-age him, sort of, but give him
Oh yeah, 99. Yeah, there is the JSA book is coming. Yeah.
So it's
they
want that legacy, but then they nuked the legacy, on purpose.
Yeah, it's like 1994. Yeah, let's make him young and powerful, and we'll kill most of the Justice Society. Yeah, 99. There's a book coming. It's like, oh, gotta make him old again.
Gotta make him old again. So, yeah. And maybe that's, I don't know. This book just had a really different feel to it than the traditional '90s book, and it doesn't feel like a modern book either. I don't know. It felt different to me.
Yeah. Again, I mean, there were touches where you could tell it was Jade's book, but it's like it almost could have been, hey, an issue of Wonder Woman guest starring Jade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have worked too. Wonder Woman's here to help you work through your parental issues.
All right, should we get to the next one?
You bet.
Not a cheery Christmas one, but a Christmas issue.
Oh man.
I know.
As I was reading this, like, this is really freaking dark, and
the cover date's February, so it did come out. It probably did come out in December. So
yeah, and then the train keeps moving toward that spot, and you're like, no, don't, please don't, and then they swerve at the last second, but it's just so, I don't know.
It's almost as bad as the fridging, yeah.
To give it, even almost give a character that kind of backstory without a lot of thought given to it,
Yeah.
But I don't know.
All right, so well, let's say what that is. All right, Green Lantern Volume 3, 109, February 1999, Ghost of Christmas Past. All right, so can't even blame this on a guest writer, friend of the show, Mr. Ron Mars.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Penciler Paul Pelletier, inker Terry Austin, colors Rob Schwager, letterer Chris Eliopoulos, and editor Kevin Dooley. So this, again, same as the last time, except we're doing Pelletier instead of Banks now. Yeah, and Ron Mars is back. So,
well, and this felt more like a traditional. Yeah, I think that's Down to Mars. I really do think that's Down to Mars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, no, please don't, don't do it. And luckily they didn't. But I was, yeah. I'll let you continue.
All right, thank you. Jenny Lynn Hayden is Christmas shopping with her brother Todd Rice, who knows Obsidian, who is still not fond of her close relationship with with Cal Rayner. But when Jenny Lynn, oh god, how weird was that conversation? It's like, oh, so wait, you're dating him, so you're doing what with him? It's like, okay, yeah, we get it. But when Jenny listens to the words of Santa Claus says to some children she has a sudden flashback from her childhood. She immediately changes into her Green Lantern costume, kidnaps Santa Claus, and takes him on top of a skyscraper. Jenny knows the man as Stan, who was the janitor of the orphanage she was raised in. Obviously, Stan sexually abused some girls there. When he tried it with Jenny on a Christmas night, she exhibited superpowers for the first time and was able to fend Stan off. Now Jenny really wants to hurt Stan, but she restrains herself. She will let him go, but she will watch over him so that he never comes close to another young girl. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And I have a problem with that ending too. I mean,
well, I guess so she wouldn't have to go the non-violent route, but it's like, I'm going to be watching you.
but can she watch him? I mean, does she even still have her? Where is this guy? She lost her ring, so
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that, not that I'm, pro law enforcement, but I would think that they could probably do a better job monitoring with an anklet or prison, which is where
I took it as she's not going to be there 24/7, but it's like, oh yeah, you're never going to know when I'm going to show up. I might wait a year to come see you, and then I might come the next week and check on you, and it's going to be random. So don't try anything, because you tried it the wrong time. I'm going to be there to kill you.
Still seems weird, man.
And it's kind of a downer for Christmas too.
Yeah.
And then, Mars tried to spin that end, because she shows up at her dad's and falls asleep on the couch. And like, oh, Merry Christmas, cover up the blanket. Oh, Merry Christmas. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
The art is great because, again, of course, it's Daryl Paul Pelletier, but
yeah, this one was a weird one. Weird for different reasons than the other one was weird.
Because I'm trying to think. I'm like, I don't think they ever brought this up before this, and have they ever brought up
since? I don't think so.
No.
Oh, but I do want to. When we get to the 80-page giant, there is a mention of Moraine.
Oh yes. But again, it's weird with like Jade, because it's like, pre-crisis she was on Earth 2, and then and then
sliding timelines.
Oh, that's the other thing in Dark Crisis 3, like the new Justice League's kind of falling apart. John Kent's looking for help. The Justice Society shows up on like one page, so
cool.
Like Alan Scott's like front and center, so and I believe Jade's there with as part of the group too, so
cool. Are they our Justice Society, or
what?
The original Earth 2 Justice Society? Or
I don't even know what the continuity is at this point.
I don't think anybody knows what the continuity is.
I think they're reintroducing them again. So yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Strange.
Who knows? But yeah, Jade was there. I think Power Girl was in there. So who knows? But no, again, great Pelletier art.
Oh yeah.
But Jade just traumatizing some kids while kidnapping Santa Claus out of the middle of this department store. But and again, the guy was a child molester. But yeah, the whole issue is just like her with him like tied to a chair and like, here's what you did, and I should kill you.
And here's a knife that I'm going to use to cut your ropes that I just made, because it's way more dramatic for me to cut the ropes that are made of the same thing that the knife is made of. But
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a strange issue.
Very, yeah. And then just the Alan and Todd just like, oh, should we go looking for her?
Nope, she's okay. She's on the couch.
Yeah. Can you imagine that conversation? What happened?
Well,
this guy tried to molest me when I was a girl.
what?
And again, it's like so depressing too for a Christmas issue because she's like, yeah, so all I could remember was the orphanage. I never remembered where I came from before that. And it's just like, ugh.
And then I blasted him and I slept like a baby.
But it's like, wait a minute, did you not tell anybody he tried this? Because it seems like he was still, I mean, at least in the beginning of the issue, he's still around children.
I know it. I don't know.
Why didn't you? I mean, I know you were a young girl, but why didn't you say anything?
Or maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but still, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Different times. That was, almost 30 years ago. So
Exactly. All right. So should we get to the next one?
you bet.
All right, kids. This cover does not appear in this does not happen in this issue. All right. Because I don't know why, because his book is canceled, but yes, we're getting more Connor Hawke.
Who now has his head shaved.
Oh yeah, because he's back in his monastery. Yeah. All right, Green Lantern, Volume 3, number 110, March 1999. So now we are 5 years exact from Emerald Twilight.
5 years. 5 years in. And honestly, that's, what, 60 issues? Are we 60 issues in then? We have 110, 60
Yeah,
issues
110,
exactly.
60, yeah.
So we're 60 issues in. And I remember, individual stories, him blowing up Oa, which don't get me started on that. Emerald Knights, maybe the Graven story I sort of remember.
Oh, from 75.
Yeah, but a lot of the rest of the issues are kind of one and dones that, I don't really remember, even after rereading them again here recently.
Well, again, too, we had to like dance around crossovers and stuff. And,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
We had to cross over Connor Hawke's book several times.
Mm-hmm.
Final Night, DC 1 million.
Oh, yeah. Which is cool because, hey, he contains a supernova with the ring, which is awesome.
Yes. Oh, remember the 3 of a kind?
Oh, yes. Okay. Thanks for reminding me of something that I really didn't want to remember, Phil.
We wrapped it up by beating him in court, yo.
That's right.
Again, more Connor Hawke. All right. So, yeah, this one, Green Lantern 110. Golden Years. Ron Mars, Daryl Banks. So, yeah, the team's back. Terry Austin, Rob Schwager, Chris Eliopoulos, Kevin Dooley. Jenny Lynn Hayden wakes up in the middle of the night after having a bad dream involving her boyfriend, Cal Rayner. But there is somebody else in the apartment. It's Green Arrow, who wanted to talk to his friend Cal, but Cal is in space, so Connor tells Jenny that he thinks his father, Oliver Queen, might still be alive somehow.
Wait a minute. Hit the button.
Parallax. What? Oh, okay. His father may be alive.
There we go.
You still got to wait.
Spoilers.
I think he is. I was going to say, I think he's still got to wait like another year or two, but yeah. Thank you, Parallax.
Yeah.
Then Jenny gets a phone call that her father, Alan Scott, just went up in flames and disappeared.
Okay, yeah, that sentence sounds really weird, when you think about it.
Yeah. There's so many levels why his weakness is wood. Accompanied by Green Arrow, Jenny flies to the warehouse where her father stored all his JSA memorabilia.
Alan, was there a side kind of mention here where the giant Batman crossover?
Oh, No Man's Land.
No Man's Land, yeah.
Yeah, because he got all his stuff out of Gotham and he stored it in this warehouse. And
I thought that's what that was, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, 99. Yeah, because that was like that whole year, 1999. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, wait. Who's crossover?
Batman, my favorite character. Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
He's gonna stop listening to every show because I swear, between you and Lilith, we do this on every show.
It's all in good fun, Ray. All in
Yes,
good
Ray. We love our patrons. We love our people who give us money. Thank you, Ray, and Russell and Justin. So yeah, they find in the warehouse. Alan is there. He thinks his powers are consuming him and that he will die. He refuses to take any help and fights both Green Arrow and his daughter. But then Jenny uses her power ring to drain all power out of her father, who now looks like a man of his age again. Despite this, Alan still possesses a power battery and intends to become Green Lantern again.
Got to talk about what is it with Green Arrows shooting Green Lanterns?
Yes. Well, hey, I mean, at least it makes more sense than Hal Jordan because Alan's weakness is wood.
Yeah.
Although, wasn't that a weakness built into his ring?
I think so. And are we even still using the same ring that we got in Green Lantern 19 because the continuities changed? So
did he even have a ring in this issue? I thought it was all internal until the end there, at least.
I think so. I mean, it's weird because him having a ring from the core, that was made from, Gulan Gath or something like that. Anyway, and then he fashioned it into a lantern and a ring, but I don't even know if that's in continuity anymore.
Because in the end they show he put Jenny gives him his original uniform and he puts it back on and basically hints around that he's going to be Green Lantern also, but it's like he's not wearing a ring on that final page you see him, so it's like I think he still has some internal power, maybe.
I don't know. I have to check I guess is it JSA book or just I can't remember because they had a few books through there.
Yeah. And I mean, I know they did it for the sake of the story, but I'm like, it seems like he still wants to be a superhero. So why didn't he take Kal up on the offer of that ring?
Yeah, and if you think about it,
I mean, both him and Jenny can both have rings.
Yeah, it's weird because if you think he was 20 in 1940, this is almost 60 years later. Maybe pushing 80.
Oh yeah. I think they even call that up, but it's like, especially him and Jay Garrick, they're always finding ways to keep themselves young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very strange.
Well, I mean, especially when you find out later. I mean, I think that Speed Force is keeping Jay Garrick alive.
Yeah.
And the Star Heart was keeping Alan. I don't know what's keeping him alive now.
But then you think, okay, well, they're wives, right? At this point, they are, if Alan was born in 20, let's say his wife was born in 20, she's 100 now. Same with Jay Garrick's wife. I mean,
and again, oh my God, how dark of a story would that be? I mean, I don't know about Jay Garrick, but what if even subconsciously, if Alan was using his power, even without his conscious, awareness of it, keeping his wife alive?
Oh yeah. You could definitely go dark there. Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is the episode for it seems.
Apparently, yes. There's a lot of great darkness, right?
Duck says a Machinas, dark Christmas tales. Yeah. I mean, I swear to God, that's Christmas issue. This, 109 makes, that, the story of Christmas story, Christmas past, present, and future. Seems like a happy tale compared to issue 109. Scrooge
McDuck is all I always think of. But A Christmas Carol by Dickens.
Yes. Or what about Scrooge? You ever see that movie Scrooge with Bill Murray?
That's an awesome movie too.
Put a little love in your heart. So
yeah, the way this one ended, it really felt like, oh hey, we've got to set up.
Yeah. Kind of have to sort of put Alan back to status quo for that JSA book. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really feel like it was hey, we got to do this. Let's do it.
Which did you really have to? Because that JSA book, you had old members, you had younger members too. So I don't know why they had to do that.
I think, and this is just a
Alan,
guess.
Alan kind of could have been the bridge between, the older. He knows the older members. He's friends with
Yeah.
them, but meanwhile he's still young enough where maybe the younger ones wouldn't have been as intimidated. And
Well, with the JSA, you can't have Wonder Woman, Superman, or Batman.
well,
They were a big part of the.
unless you throw Hippolyta in there.
Yeah, and which is not really the same, but
Yeah, no.
you can't have them in there. So really, when you get down to it, the most popular characters are going to be
Flash and Green Lantern.
Flash and Green Lantern. Maybe then followed by Hawkman.
Yeah.
So, and didn't maybe that comes up in 2000? Jeff Johns wrote a Hawkman series, which was pretty good from what I remember of it.
Yeah, I think isn't that where the original idea where it's just like, oh yeah, they just keep reincarnating and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Although I think he might have started laying that groundwork in JSA because like they had Hawk Girl and I believe.
Yeah, the hunt. That's where they bring Kendra, I guess, back. Is that what?
Yeah,
they play with that like in Legends of Tomorrow. They brought her in.
Yeah. But I think it's been a while since I reread JSA, but I'm pretty sure he started laying that groundwork for they keep reincarnating, since ancient Egypt and.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do you want to get to the 80-page giant?
You bet. This thing is all over the place.
Oh yeah, I don't have a synopsis, so let's walk this through. It starts with Alan showing up at Warriors as two guys are trying to break in the back door.
Yeah, and that's some seriously moody art. I don't remember who the. It's Grindberg. Tom Grindberg,
yes,
wasn't it? Yeah,
yes.
It had a real like Gene Colan look to it, from like Tomb of Dracula.
Oh yeah, I think it was. Is that like the inking maybe, or
I don't know. I think that's what he was going for. I'm not quite sure why, because I don't think it really fits with Green Lantern, but it looked cool, so I guess that's all that matters.
Again, is it just like, oh, Alan's supposed to be mysterious? Well,
He's from Gotham. Darn it!
I know. Well, it says Tom Grindberg artist, and then there's just a colorist and a letterer. So did Grindberg maybe do the pencils and inks? Maybe
I would assume that from the credits. Then yeah,
because there's no inker names. It just says artist Tom Grindberg. So,
and
yes, he's kind of looking like Sentinel. So this might take place a little before 110. So
it looked really moody, and It almost gave off kind of a horror vibe to it, because you're like, what the heck is going on here? And it's basically him getting in there saying, hey, let's tell some stories.
So. Exactly. I know. Because, so is the guy like, you're late. And Alan's like, I was scaring away some pests in your alley.
Yeah. I don't think, I have a lot of respect for the Golden Age Green Lantern. But I don't think Guy Gardner needs your help, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, basically it's Alan, Guy, and John getting together. Like, man, or should we still be getting together? Cal's off in space. We're like, it's fun to tell stories.
Exactly.
Keeping tradition alive.
That's right.
So yeah, that's our framing device. That's our framing device for these short stories.
Did Mars write the framing sequence? Who wrote? You read
it?
That
was Ron Mars. Okay. In the framing sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense. That's kind of something that he introduced in the main book, so that makes a lot of sense.
Let me see. Yeah, I think he just did like the framing stuff. Yeah, because he's credited with that beginning part and then the epilogue. So. Okay. Oh, maybe that's another reason he had to take an issue off, man. He had to write the beginning and the ending to this too.
And plus the new core and plus everything else,
which are oversized issues. The new core.
Plus, he was still writing Silver Surfer, I think, at the time, right?
Yeah.
So
basically, literally, the new core was that. It was only 2 issues. But was that monthly, or I was going to say, because
I think it was monthly, but it was like they were double sized, like perfect bound things. So it was probably like a 4-issue total.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. It's like, so for 2 months at least, there's like at least two Green Lantern books, and then this 80-page giant. So
yep.
Yeah, you might need some help.
DC 1 million. Sorry.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the first story is an Alan Scott story by James Robinson,
What did he write? I wonder.
Starman. So yeah, so it's basically Alan. What's him and Harlequin?
Mm-hmm.
We get Doiby back.
And hey, I've got a club, so I'm gonna whack on Green Lantern because his ring doesn't protect him from wood. And then I'm gonna take his ring off, and it's gonna fly back to his finger.
It's even worse than a club. Like they're standing in front of a fireplace. Is that just like a log? He hits him on the back of the head with a
Maybe, yeah. I
log?
think he hit him with a log. It's a stick. Sorry.
But just the world of coincidence, because if that had been Hal Jordan in the Silver Age, they would have picked up a yellow lamp.
Yellow
like
lamp, yeah.
coincidence,
The infamous yellow lamp.
Although if you look at that outside of that house on that page, it's a yellow. It looks yellow.
There you go. Yeah. So there. I remember seeing a page from. It's like Green Lantern 120, 115, somewhere in that era of Green Lantern, where Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and Golden Age Green Lantern are trapped in a room and it's yellow wood. Like, okay, cool. Let's just go with it.
Wood, Jerry. Wood. But yeah, so I mean, the whole point of this is just like his relationship with Harlequin, and then isn't she like working for reforming and working for, was it the FBI or something?
Yep, I think so. And then ultimately falls in love with her later. I guess it's a really weird story.
Yeah, because wait, this is Molly, right?
Yeah, this is not Thorne, who's the mother of
Todd,
and
yeah.
So yeah.
This is the one, yeah. It's Molly, who I guess he didn't end up with right away, but eventually,
yeah.
So yeah, we get that, and then it's so weird. I mean, I guess because it's a different creative team, but at the end of the story, they show like current Alan, and that suit looks nothing like the first page.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay. And then the next story, we get a John Stewart about racism, of course, written by Denny O'Neil.
Of course. And I'm like, I forgot it was by Denny O'Neil too. I'm like, this story really was
basically Hard Traveling Heroes, the John Stewart edition.
There's subtlety, there's not subtlety, and then there's this story, which is not subtle at all. I mean,
it's basically, if Denny O'Neil wrote a Green Lantern story, it's usually about race, and if he wrote a Green Lantern or an Iron Man story, is Tony Stark was getting drunk.
That's right. I mean, it doesn't. O'Neil never wrote Guardians that were not, impeachable because of their stupid behavior, right? I mean, laws above everything versus, I just, my thoughts on Hard Traveling Heroes. I won't rehash that.
I mean, at least in this story, the Guardian tried to give him an out, because it's like, oh, I know I'm not supposed to use my ring for personal gain, and then the Guardian's like, no, you were angry, you took yourself out of
the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, now go watch all this pretty thing happen. No, there's a ship. I'm gonna go save it.
Yeah, these aliens who basically have slaves, and then John frees them, and they're like, well, we don't know what to do. We've been slaves our whole life.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's a shovel. Start digging? I don't understand.
Well, I assume that's supposed to be symbolic of, here, let me show you how to build your own civilization, but it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Not one of Denny's best stories. I will.
But again, too, he got how many pages to tell it in, too?
Yeah, that's true.
3, 4. It's probably like, what, 8, 10 pages or something?
8, 10 pages, yeah. Because it can't, it was done quick.
Yeah. Again, he wasn't even on Earth that long, before he got teed off and just took off. And then Guardian's like, here, stay here. Oh, hey, what's that ship?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then the next story is a Guy Gardner story by Bo Smith.
Tarzan? You mean Guy of the Jungle?
Wasn't that our 90s Guy Gardner series writer, at least for a while, Bo Smith?
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell.
Yeah, you could. It felt very much like Guy Gardner, yes.
Basically having to fight through this jungle with that.
Because he forgot to charge his ring because he was watching, what were the shows? It says it like on the first page.
Oh, wait.
I should remember this.
After all, reruns of the A-Team were on. Why waste important culture time on recharging my ring?
Yay!
The A-Team.
The A-Team.
You really think Guy would like the A-Team? They always shot at people, but they never hit him.
Apparently, he likes the A-Team. We'll
guess. But of course, yes. Yeah, like we said, fighting through this jungle without his power ring and dinosaurs and aliens. And then at the end, he's like, I'm their hero now. They have like a holiday for me,
2 holidays and a statue.
He's like, oh, that's a story. Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. Like I always said, that ring was nothing but a crutch. It's not the clothes or jewelry that makes a warrior. It's what's in his heart that counts. And a whole mess of testosterone don't hurt either.
They went out of their way to say that Guy was never liked the ring, was better off without the ring. And then John said it too, and so did Alan. I'm like, they're trying awful hard, right? Really, really hard.
I mean, Cal offered him the ring and he didn't take it. So, I mean, Ganth had offered him the ring. He didn't take it. So,
yep. Which seems more, knowing what we, now know about Guy Gardner, seems woefully out of character.
But again, with the case of Ganth, that they wanted a brand new guy.
They didn't want anything. So. Yeah, they didn't want anything. That was more of a cover our base. We're going to cover our bases.
Can you imagine if they did what they did with Hal, turned him into Parallax and everything, and then they just gave Guy the ring, and it's like, okay, you're the Green Lantern of Earth again. You're the you're the only Green Lantern left.
Yeah, and you're the Green.
Can you imagine?
Well, and yeah, they were explaining away potential inconsistencies, you know, and we still don't really know what happened with John.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that's suddenly he's not a Guardian, but then suddenly
again, they completely ignored that until Jeffrey Thorne's series. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
hey, we evacuated everyone from Oa because there was nobody there.
Even though we never see Rose or those kids again.
Yeah.
They're we just shipped them off somewhere. Yeah.
Why? But why did you evacuate? Yeah, the Guardians were dead, but okay. And then, hey, I'm glad we did evacuate it anyway because somebody blew up the planet.
But again, the mosaic wasn't it the Guardians' power like keeping those?
Maybe, yeah, that might be right.
And again, everyone would have been defenseless with the Guardians dead, maybe, and stuff, and there's no Green Lanterns left. So,
except there was still a Guardian there. But anyway,
well, not really. He left to be a Dark Star. Remember?
Well, only because he didn't have any power, right? But because he wasn't a Guardian.
He literally woke up and was like, "Oh, hey, what happened?
My ring's not working. I don't. What's going on?"
They called in every Green Lantern to try to beat Hal Jordan, not John Stewart.
No. Yeah, that was weird. And if I remember correctly, the only on-camera kills were him killing a weird phantasm thing of Sinestro and him actually killing Kilowog, because Kilowog was actually dead, and then he comes back pretty soon, isn't it?
I think it might be in the 160s or something. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's coming.
Yeah,
because it comes before this series ends. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Kilowog comes back before Hal Jordan. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and the next story. All right, I got to get your thoughts on this. Yeah, it's John's like, oh hey, Hal told me this story one time by Dan Jurgens.
This is a weird one too.
That Dan
You know-
Jurgens did the script and pencils.
One of the things that Johns goes out of his way to establish is that when Hal's flying, he never wears the ring,
Yes.
which I kind of like, but that also doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it makes a sense from I'm not going to have any safety nets.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing this because it's work that needs to be done, and I have to make sure that these things are safe for the people that are going to be using them. But then it doesn't really make a lot of sense because, hey, you know, I need to be able to react at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Like if some dude, you know, completely dissolves my plane, you know.
I was gonna say, yeah, it came in handy this issue, yeah, when that alien takes his plane apart. Although, did some of this story remind you of the Green Lantern movie? Sorry to bring that sort of subject up again, but Carl Ferris. Oh no, he's getting, if this test flight doesn't go good, the company's ruined.
Yeah. Well, you know, I love the way that Johns introduces Sinestro to Hal.
Yeah.
Completely disassembles the plane around him, right? I mean, you know, and it's been a long time since I've read Secret Origin, but I want to go back and reread it because there are lots of little things in Secret Origin that I've just forgotten.
It just seems like no matter how they meet, every version of Hal meeting Sinestro is just like, why are you wasting your time on this petty crap? You know?
Yeah, you primitive Earthman.
Should be bringing order to this planet.
That's right. Do it now. Gotta twirl that mustache.
So do you like that Dan Jurgens art?
Actually, that looked really nice. Yep, that did look really nice.
But basically, yeah, this alien, which is actually a bunch of worms in a suit of armor. Yeah, they're like, we can't defend ourselves. We can't fly planes and stuff. So Hal kind of uses the ring so their reaction time
juice up the reaction time. That's all I got from it. I'm like, is that fair? Is that legal from a Guardian standpoint? I mean, I don't know.
And then the aliens return the favor and reassemble the plane on top of a mountain or something.
Yeah, it's there. How did you even land it? Never mind.
Yeah, Carl Ferris like, how, what? Yeah, that was a weird one. And then what is this? Alan has a story where it's like, well, Cal told me this story.
Yeah, high school bully story.
Yes, by Ben Rabb.
Who will be doing some Green Lantern, some of the Green Lantern series later after Judd Winnick, I believe.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is what is it? It's maybe he's at issue 153, or Cal does go back for his high school reunion. So.
Oh, cool. I wonder if these people show up there.
Oh my God, it is a funny cover because Cal's standing there in the new costume, just in the middle of this high school gym, and there's a guy standing there going, "So what have you been up to?"
Oh yeah, that's the Jim Lee design costume.
Yeah, with the things and all the straps and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I guess this is when Cal learned about being a hero. He's hanging with all these bullies and learning they won't stand up for him and stuff. So he starts standing up for kids. And then, of course, the last story, which answers the question: whatever happened to Gnort?
Oh my God, poor Gnort.
After his power ring stopped working, why was that, Will? Why?
Something happened to the central power battery. I think I don't remember what it was.
Somebody totally destroyed the central power battery
and killed the Guardians. Yeah, that's right.
And
that was Parallax.
I know. So basically, Gnort's been stranded on Earth and living in alleys, and he's basically living as a homeless person.
As a large homeless dog, apparently, as a stray.
And they start chasing a car, and I love that couple. They're like, "It's a werewolf."
Yeah. Let's see, what else does he do? He chases the car.
He stops Catman.
Cat stops Catman. Sniffs the mayor's butt. And then ultimately is in the alley behind Warriors, right?
So Alan just missed him, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, poor Gnort.
Oh my god, because no, well, wait, it says Alan. It was like, didn't I hear he ended up the weather? Meaning Gnort. He ended up the weatherman on WKB WTV. He's probably still there right now. And John goes, yeah, he did something to the station owner's German Shepherd and got canned.
Poor Gnort.
Yeah.
Poor Gnort.
So then, yeah, we get like 3 pages to wrap it up again by Ron Mars and Grindberg. But again, it basically just ends. I wonder how Cal's doing trying to restart the core.
Maybe you should go check out Green Lantern, the new core, numbers 1 and 2.
And of course, final image. What do we close on? That statue of Hal Jordan.
That's right.
All right. Well, this is quite a week.
It was. It was an interesting week. Yes.
Yes. All right. So, not any final thoughts, or you want the homework for next week?
Let's do what's the homework for next week?
All right. Well, as I said, yes, next week we will get to Green Lantern, the new core 1 and 2. So we'll see what Cal's up to in space. And then Green Lantern 111 and 112. Like I said, I believe he returns in 112. But if you saw the last page of tonight's issue 110, you'll see we also get the return of Fatality.
Nice.
Yeah, I believe her and Jade go at it, and then Cal. That's when Cal returns, like in the middle of the fight.
Now, can John past Parallax supposedly drain John of his power, but John's still walking around fine now, right?
In the 80-page giant, yeah, wasn't he standing or walking? Maybe.
I thought so.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. When I was reading this, I was like, wait a minute, and I forgot to bring that. Yes,
I thought he got drained of all his power, but
he's
then of course
standing there with Guy and Alan.
He's still a guardian, though. So
yeah, but shouldn't someone be like, "Hey, I thought you were paralyzed again"?
Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll see.
He should have been like, "Yeah, well, you were." Oh yeah, well, you were old a little while ago. Now you're young, and you're about to be old again.
It's just magic-y stuff. Whatever.
Guy's full of alien DNA. It's just
Yeah. All right. So what's the homework, man?
So yeah, Green Lantern, the new core 1 and 2, and Green Lantern 111 and 112. Like I said, Fatality returns, and I believe by the end of 112, yeah, or I think it might be the end of 111. Cal returns. So
cool. So 4 total issues. Awesome.
Yes. Although, yeah, the new core 1 and 2 will be a little extra.
Those are double-sized issues. Yeah.
And then I know we said we were going to do giant size number 2 this week, but no, I started reading. I'm like, hey, this Cal's back. All right. So yeah. So then in 2 weeks, we'll do Green Lantern 113 and 114 and 80-page giant number 2. So
sweet.
All right.
And we're getting very, very close to the final issue of Friend of the Show.
Yes. Yeah, by Ron Mars. Yeah, we'll get, yeah. But in around 5 weeks, we're going to get the Day of Judgment first.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
What happens in that, Phil?
Somebody takes a new identity.
Becomes the Spectre? I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. Who could that be?
Of course, Hal Jordan.
I don't know. Unrelated.
Of course.
All right, kids. So yes, send your thoughts on all the Green Lantern, all the upcoming Green Lantern issues, the news. Hey, we might get that Green Lantern TV show by 2024.
Maybe not. Who knows?
So, yes, send your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find Sector 2814 on Facebook, on Twitter. Join the Green Lantern Facebook fan group. Find links to all the social medias and Facebook fan groups we have for all the DC and Marvel shows. The YouTube channel You can, every episode gets a video. So you can watch this video or this episode right now, full video, completely free. All you have to do is smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any of it.
Smash it.
And remember, September is coming, kids.
September.
Bunch of men filling in for that force of nature known as Little Hellfire. And of course, most important, please, if you can, subscribe to the Patreon. We have no Guardians or anyone else backing us up, so every little bit helps. But $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And because Little Hellfire loves our pain, superhero movie brackets, we will find the worst superhero movie of all time. Again, if you remember, you would have seen July's episode where guest starring Will Allred when we talked Green Lantern versus Catwoman. August's episode will be League of Extraordinary Gentlemen versus Sin City 2. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That was all the pain I could stand. The fact that you stand it regularly.
You know how, Will? I have no choice.
Okay.
all I can do is take my revenge on Little Hellfire in other ways.
Okay. Well, I verified that 125.
Yes.
An anniversary issue, divisible by 5 and 25.
Although I don't think it's extra-sized or anything, which
no.
That would have been cool for his last issue, but...
But 125 is when Ron Mars leaves, and I think Daryl Banks leaves as well, doesn't he?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, because I don't think he stays on for the new team.
For the new team, yeah.
But we'll see.
We will get there indeed. So we just finished 110, so 15 issues.
Yes. Like I said, we'll be at Day of Judgment in about 5 weeks. That's like 118, so...
Okay, cool.
All right. And also pick up some Capes Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics. And remember, we're still trying to get them back. Mr. Kona, Mr. Matt Kona, get your fix at all social medias at Matt Kona, MATTKONA, Gnort's biggest fan.
When he gives me his bone.
Suck it, Lilith.
See you later, bunkies.
All right, Mr. Will Allred, master of the core, master of the quantum zone, master of the Kickstarter, master of the crossover division, becoming quite the master of podcasting. Where can people find all your stuff?
You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED on Twitter, and then the same for Gmail and Facebook and all those other probably social media things that I've forgotten I set up. You can also find out about the recently successful Kickstarter for Crossover Division number 4 at crossoverdivision.com. There will be a pre-order store going up pretty soon, so if you missed the Kickstarter, you can actually order from the store before I start shipping and fulfilling the Kickstarter. Diary of Night's another thing at diaryofnight.com. And I host another podcast with writer Kevin Joseph called Explain Yourself, where we interview and talk to comic book Kickstarter creators while their projects are live. And because you love Green Lantern, because who doesn't, you must also love Quasar, because of course you do. And if you want to find out more about Quasar, you can at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
And again, you can catch every episode of the Quantum Zone. I mean, it's interspaced in the podcast, but you can go to our YouTube channel. Yeah, there's a whole playlist. Every episode of the Quantum Zone. Over 150 episodes, kids. So
for a 60-issue series.
If you need entertainment. I mean, there's Avengers issues in there. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Marvel 2-in-1.
Where most of Will's drops came from.
I'll put it in my navel.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, boys, look at the party. I love the party. He goes limp in my grip.
If anyone would ever like our undying gratitude, I was gonna say just listen to every episode of the Quantum Zone and just like send me notes like, oh well, this was taken from episode 23.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, this was from the thing of which we shall not speak. Star Blast. Sorry.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh, I do know it was Quasar 46 when you said.
Hey, boys, you look at the party. I love the party.
Yes. Because we did live reads, kids. Love live reads. All right.
Good times. Good times.
All right. Thank you for joining us again Next week, Green Lantern, the new core 1 and 2, and then I believe Kyle Rayner returns. Green Lantern and Fatality. Green Lantern 111 and 112.
She has an interesting arc. Doesn't she become like a Star Sapphire at one point?
I think it's a while till then, but yeah.
And then get impersonated by a Durlin?
She becomes like obsessed with John, and not just the Killy way either. It's
Yeah. Not just the Killy way. I love that.
all right, kids, come back next time. And remember, don't trust that Santa Claus. Good night.